He kōna ipurangi tēnei nā te reo irirangi o Aotearoa.
Kia ora, Pillion here from Culture 101. You can check out our regular cast of reviewers giving their thoughts on the latest movies just after 1:30 on Sunday afternoons. This week, it's Michelle Langstone with her take on Pillion, Peaky Blinders and the Magic Faraway Tree. Kia ora, Michelle.
Good afternoon to you, Pillion.
Very formal, Michelle.
Thank you.
I love it. Let's get into it. Now, on the first of your list is a film called Pillion, and it's directed by Harry Leighton, the directorial debut of Harry Leighton, and stars Harry Melling and Alexander Skarsgård. And it's about a lonely young parking warden named Colin, that's Harry Melling, begins a submissive relationship with the elusive and charismatic biker Ray. It's part love story, grief story, an intimate coming-of-age tale, a lot of sexuality and emotional complexity. Let's listen to the clip.
You never been with a biker then?
Biker, no.
What am I gonna do with you?
Did you kiss? I don't think that is any of your business.
That's your boyfriend.
Well, we have an arrangement.
How'd you get a man like that?
I have an aptitude for devotion.
If you're quiet, you can sleep on the road.
The rug.
There's so much heart in this film. I saw it and I did love it. Now, this is actually based on a book.
It is. It's based on a book called Box Hill, A Story of Low Self-Esteem by Adam Mars-Jones, which I haven't read, but I have now ordered from the library, and I'm very excited. I adore this debut from Harry Leighton. So Colin, who is beautifully played by Harry Melling, who I didn't realise till the end why he looked so familiar. He plays Dudley Dursley in the original Harry Potter films.
Yes.
What a glow up. But what a beautiful actor. He looks much younger than he is. I think it feels to me he's playing mid-20s, but actually he'd be in his 30s now, just like the rest of those kids. He's heaven. So he lives at home with his mum and dad. He's gay and he's looking for some kind of relationship of meaning. His mother is dying of cancer. So there's an extra push there from her corner. She's really keen to find him someone to love before she goes. And he's in a pretty poor barbershop quartet with his dad, and they go around pubs performing. And that's when he sees Ray for the first time, this brooding, immensely attractive biker played by Alexander Skarsgård, who slips him a request to meet up at the end of this one night in this pub. And that's where the story really begins. And it's set in a world of BDSM, which is a very revealing one. The choice for Colin to be initiated into a submissive role in a relationship kind of reflects his view of himself and place and identity. And it is an incredibly intimate portrait of Colin coming to terms with the loss of his mother and gaining his own autonomy and things he's interested in, what he likes, and actually a really erotic portrayal of a burgeoning love. It's beautifully shot. It's quite graphic, but you never see too much. It's just implied within frames will be part of an image that yields a much greater depth of sexual activity. And it is beautifully funny and at times very silly, but extremely emotionally felt to the point where we begin to just adore Colin so much and his mum and dad, who are so well-meaning. Yeah. We just desperately care for him and we so want Ray to fall for him.
Yes.
And the confines of this relationship where he is the submissive means that, he wears a collar, he sleeps on the floor, he cooks all the food, he has an alarm set for him, wakes up in the morning, does the cleaning. Yeah. And they have this agreement. They go on these camping trips with these other bikers who are into BDSM who all have these submissives. And it just goes... It's fascinating. I was so fascinated and I feel quite flushed actually doing this review because it challenged me. Because what's so beautiful about this film is it presents a world that many of us are not acquainted with. And we get to see the way Colin is kind of brought into this kind of whole new understanding of intimacy and sexuality. And it's quite shocking at times and so affecting. And Ray presents as this quite stone cold man with not a lot of warmth.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem very kind. At times he's quite cruel. But as you watch just these imperceptible cracks in his armour appear, it's absolutely addictive and it becomes incredibly thrilling. It's a beautiful film and odd, and I just have immense praise for the actors and their bravery. And what I really like is I can hear the director's voice coming in through his script. There is a moment when Colin's mum challenges Ray about the way he's treating her son.
Yeah.
And he says to her, well, it doesn't actually matter what you think. You don't understand.
Yeah.
This is not a relationship for you. And if you don't understand, maybe you should learn. And I felt like he was speaking to all the audience who are like me, who don't get it.
Yeah.
And it was so wonderful.
And it was in that moment because they're at dinner at Colin's house.
The worst dinner ever.
Yeah, and so he's, Alexander Skarsgård's character is in their, territory in a way. They've just cooked him dinner, and then she's challenging him about this relationship, and that's exactly it. There are moments as a viewer you're going, oh, I almost felt uncomfortable, but at the same time, because we are Colin effectively as the audience, we are learning at the same time he is and discovering the rules and the boundaries and what this relationship can be and can't be, right?
That's right.
And it's all at the end of the day comes down to consent, really. He's okay with it. He's okay with exploring it and figuring out how he feels about it.
And those moments where you see him push for a change in dynamic, like he wants a bit more power, or he says, I want to sleep in the bed, or these various things. That tension that is created between how Ray will respond and how they'll renegotiate their terms is just fascinating. And then it's honestly, the ending destroyed me. And I don't want to give away what happens, but there is a moment between them where you see in Ray's eyes a true feeling and understanding that makes the hairs go up on the back of my neck. It makes me want to burst into tears. It is the most beautiful moment that yields devastation. It is profound. And I just want to give a shout out to Alexander Skarsgård. The choices he makes, he's a producer on this film. He makes extraordinary choices, and he is so bold and a wonderful actor. And the two of them, it's just, what a film.
Yeah.
I adore this film. I will watch it again.
Okay, that is Pillion, starring Harry Mellon and Alexander Skarsgård. Michelle Langstone here for the big screen, raving about it. Next on your list is Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, directed by Tom Harper, Cillian Murphy, Rebecca Ferguson, Barry Keoghan, Tim Roth. And this feels like the final chapter in the Peaky Blinders story. Tommy Shelby's return from exile during the Second World War to face new threats on the home front, this time from his own flesh and blood. Here is a clip.
Your gypsy son is running the Peaky Blinders like it's 1919 all over again.
I can't help him because I'm not that man anymore.
I need to know that you are willing to take part in an act of treason that will decide this war for Germany.
The world don't give a and I don't give a about the world.
I've heard you decided this wasn't your war.
It is now.
Obviously, this was a hit show, massive.
Yes,
They
for the
followed up.
uninitiated,
Yeah.
I think I should probably say Peaky Blinders is a show created by Stephen Knight. It follows a crime family, the Shelbys, as they rise from a violent street gang to a legitimate and incredibly powerful business just after the end of the First World War in Birmingham. It's very violent, it's rough, it's full of heart, ruthlessness, swagger. It always had extraordinary music. Nick Cave's Red Right Hand is the title music, so blends really great modern punk and rock aesthetic into, ye olde times period drama, which is essentially what it is.
Yeah.
So we're picking up the Peaky story here about 6 years on from where we left it at the end of series 6 of the hit Netflix show. And Tommy Shelby, who's much older and greyer and, if possible, more haunted, Cillian Murphy, is inhabiting a rundown mansion with only one man working for him. He's lost pretty much everyone in his family. He's seeing the ghost of his child, and he's writing his autobiography, funnily enough, which is very ponderous.
Yeah.
And kind of made me laugh accidentally. Anyway, his son, Duke, who's played by Barry Keoghan, who is sublime, is now running the Peaky Blinders in Birmingham, the old stomping ground. He's running it badly, and he's in deals with men who are in deals with the Nazis involving counterfeit money and a plan to flood the British economy with fake money and then win the war for Germany. Ada Shelby, who people will remember from the series, who's Tommy's sister, pays Tommy a visit and says, please come back and set your son to right before things get worse, when a factory full of women is bombed and a whole bunch of people die. Tommy refuses, and then things get much, much worse. And then a mysterious Romany woman, played by Rebecca Ferguson, who I just love.
I do love her.
Oh, I love her so much. Who's connected to Duke by blood. She's his aunt. Comes to persuade Tommy to come back again and save his son from his fate. And he does come back, and then things get even worse. And so it's Peaky Blinders. And honestly, I am always happy to see it again. I'm a massive fan of the show. I adored it, even though towards the final season it did peter out a bit for me and I was ready for it to end. I don't honestly know why this was made into a film. I think, for a film that is now in cinemas as well as being on Netflix, I guess it was giving people the opportunity to see the last chapter on the big screen. That was too good to pass up.
Yeah.
I saw it streaming it on the platform, and I actually wish I'd been to the cinema, because I think for anyone watching it on Netflix, it won't necessarily feel like a film. It might feel like a bit of an extended episode.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas if you go to the cinema, it's going to feel like more of a big deal. The performances are uniformly wonderful, but much of the same as we've always seen. I think there wasn't anything particularly new, but I loved it because I am a diehard fan.
Yeah.
And it's always gorgeous to see Cillian Murphy work. He's just stunning. He's like a ghost. His eyes are like ghosts. I find him so extraordinary. And Barry Keoghan, I wish I could pronounce his surname properly. I always say it. It's different every time I say it. He's exquisite. And it's just gorgeous to see him in the world of the Peaky Blinders. He belongs there. He's amazing.
He's got a very interesting face to watch as well.
Oh, I just think he's just ravishing. I love the vulnerability. He's got a real puppy-like quality and then a viciousness that serves the world of Peaky Blinders very well. He's just beautiful. And I always feel so sad when I watch him. Anyway, the soundtrack is always as blaring with growling guitars and gritty versions of songs, in this case by Massive Attack, Teardrop and Angel, and they're gorgeous. And then Grian Chatan, who's from the Fontaines, an Irish band, has contributed some new songs. They're amazing. It's like a post-punk vibe.
Oh, cool.
Very Irish, beautiful. And I feel like this is a theme at the moment. A lot of films I'm seeing, a good score and a soundtrack can really bring something together. If the story's patchy or needless, it really elevates it into this kind of stonking, barnstorming finish. So not anything particularly new, but very satisfying. And honestly, seeing Tommy Shelby against the Nazis, like, what a storyline.
Yeah.
It's really bombastic and great and, satisfying.
I was surprised to see this. And one of those questions I did have was, is this necessary?
Yeah. But I think, we see a lot of TV shows going on longer than they need to because their fan base is so hungry for it, when it maybe has run out of story. And I think, this is probably the last gasp of it. It's done well. It's written by Stephen Knight again, who wrote the whole series. So, I do wonder. I wondered the same, but still glad to see it, and lovers of the show will be very happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, a film sort of to cap off the Netflix series. Now, apparently Barry himself says it's Keoghan.
Keoghan.
So he does pronounce that.
Did someone text that in?
The producer.
Oh, the producer.
Braden
I beg your
told us.
thank you very much,
Thank
Braden.
you.
Keoghan. Thank you.
Keoghan. So Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man. And finally on your list is The Magic Faraway Tree. This is directed by Ben Gregor, starring Claire Foy, Andrew Garfield and Nicola Coughlan. Now, the much-awaited adaptation of the beloved Enid Blyton tale, Faraway Tree, is a story of a family of children who discover an enchanted tree in the forest near their new home. We're talking magic, ever-changing lands, adventures. Here is a clip.
What is this place? The Magic Faraway Tree. It's amazing.
At the top of that ladder are lands that come and go. There's loads. Except you must leave before the land turns. Otherwise you'll be stuck there for good, you hear?
She does that a lot.
Oh, you'll have so much fun.
Welcome to the land of goodies.
Sugary fruit punch?
Don't mind if I do. Got quite a kick to it.
What?
Now, I know you were looking forward to this film, and you had even told me about it before you went to see it. I'm keen to hear what you thought.
All right, let's go. Now, look, first of all, I will say I'm a big fan of the books from when I was young. I've also read them to my young child who loved them. And I'm very happy that they modernised Blyton. I have no issue with the modernisation of it. The original book has got slightly stuffy vibes, and the mum kind of just keeps house and the dad is the one with the job and she makes picnics for the kids, and it's not, I think the modernising it is a really great idea. So it's set in the present day. Andrew Garfield plays the dad and Claire Foy plays the mum. They're much more present in the story than they are in the books. Mm-hmm. They all go to live in this rundown barn because Claire Foy, who is the breadwinner, hooray, who's like an engineer and kind of designer, has lost her job. And the dad, Andrew Garfield, wants to grow tomatoes and make pasta sauce and reconnect with his heritage as an Italian descent of an Italian family. Anyway, so they go and live there, and then they are also, the kids, all disconnected. They're online all the time, and so it's a
very modern.
It's very modern in that respect, and they're sulky and disconnected, and those kind of modern preoccupations, I think, are relevant to the story. So far, so good. Makes sense. Beautiful casting. Everyone's great. They move to the countryside. It's stunning and pastoral. And then it just goes spectacularly haywire in a way that stressed me out beyond belief. So the Faraway Tree itself, when it is discovered by Franny the Littlest, which differs from the book. Who cares? Initially, it's very beautiful. And then we start to meet the folk. And then we go into the trees and it's lurid. It's very neon. It feels very synthetic as opposed to organic magic, and the pace is relentless, and the soundtrack is so overwhelming. Every single moment is accompanied by music to tell us how to feel in the most extraordinary, loud, intense way, and it just almost made me panic. My niece that I took said it gave her a headache, and it was a weird thing where everything had been set up really beautifully. The actors they've got to play all of those characters, magical creatures, are gorgeous. But it was like it was on acid. It was like an acid trip. And the speed at which the story moved meant that the children were brought into this world and just accepted it pretty much straight away and had no questions. There was very little time spent in each land, so you just kind of galloped through it. And meanwhile, the other thrust of the story of them trying to do up this barn was going on, and the pasta sauce situation. And I feel the heart was in the right place.
Yeah.
And actually, the script was quite witty, but I think it might have the execution is what's let it down.
And
because
the pacing maybe as well.
Yeah, it just didn't let up. And I had been thinking about taking my young son to see it. He's almost 5. And I was going to think, okay, is Dame Snap, who's a character who's very scary in the book, so she's too scary here. And actually, I think he could have handled it, but I wouldn't take him because I'd be worried that he would get sensorial overwhelm and absolutely lose it and have a paddy.
Okay.
Because it's very overstimulating.
Interesting.
It's like it's been made for people just watching bites and grabs of things. Together, it's too much.
Rather than a whole film.
Yeah, it's just,
Okay, interesting. The Magic Faraway Tree there. Maybe or maybe not family viewing for Easter.
I think if you've got older kids, I think it'll be a nice way to bring them into the books. And there's lots of joyful things in it and some lovely connections, but it's a lot. It's a lot. And I think it's good to be aware of that and sit quite far back in the cinema if you do go. Just give it some space.
Okay. Michelle Langstone, thank you very much for all your reviews today for the big screen.
You're welcome.